Dear professional student, you are welcome to class once again. We are still under derivative valuation and analysis. And the topic we want to look at now is option contract. And we are talking of option contract. An option contract is an agreement between two parties to facilitate a potential transaction on underlying security at a preset price. And we are talking of a preset price. Preset price is what we refer to as the strike price throughout the expiration date. That's the option contract. But option itself, like what we said earlier when we are discussing the derivative market or contract, option is an agreement between two parties. Let me say option is an agreement between two parties to buy or sell. Or no, options are going between two parties. No, option is a right. Let me call it a right. Option is a right. Is a right to buy or sell certain quantity of an asset at a price agreed now, and that price agreed now is what we call preset price or strike price, at a price agreed now within a specified period of time. That is what we mean by option itself. Option is a right to buy or sell certain quantity of an asset at a price agreed now within a specified period of time. So the option contract on its own is what we now call the agreement. You can see the difference between the option and option contract. So anything that involves contract, meaning agreement between two parties. Now, there are two types of option contract. When we are talking of type of option contract, we have put contract, put option, and we have call option. These are the two types of contracts we have, and both of which can be purchased to speculate on the direction of stocks or stock indices, or sold to generate income. Remember, I told you when you buy an option, you are using it to hedge your position, and when you sell an option, you sell it to make money. Simple reason to sell option is to make what? Money. And for stock option, a single contract cover what? 100 shares. That is what we call a lot. For stock option, a lot means what? A lot is equal to 100 shares. So when you buy one contract, it's meaning that you buy 100 shares, which we call a lot. Now, let's look at the basics of an option contract. When we are talking of basics of an option contract, we are talking of the basics. In general, what we call option can be purchased, or let me say in general, call option can be purchased as a leveraged bet on the appreciation of a stock or index, while put options are purchased to profit from price decline. We buy call option when we identify or when we discover that the price of an asset you might need to buy in a few period to come can likely go up. So you buy call option. It is call option that will give you right to what? To purchase that asset with the required quantity at the price we have agreed now, which is the strike price. And when we are talking about put option is also used to lock in the price of an asset you want to sell. While call option is for the asset you want to buy, put option is for the asset you want to sell. And put option is usually used by the sellers or manufacturer of a particular item in order to lock in the price of the item he or she wants to sell within a specified period of time. If that is the case, we said it is used to profit from the price decline. When the price goes down, you'll be able to sell it at the price he has locked in, which is the strike price. So, and the buyer of the call has the right but not the obligation to buy the number of shares covered in the contract at the strike price. Both buyer also have the right but not the obligation to sell shares at the strike price in the contract. So option sellers, on the other hand, are obligated to transact their side of the trade if the buyer decides to execute the call option to buy the underlying security or execute the put option to sell the security. That is the basic we said. And not only that, options are generally used for hedging purpose. It's used for what? For hedging purpose. It is not only futures or forward that is used for hedging purpose. Option can also be used for hedging purposes, but can be used for what? For speculation as well. That is, option generally cost a fraction of what the underlying share will be, and using option is a form of leverage, allowing an investor to make a bet on the stock without having to purchase or sell the shares outrightly. So that's on that. Let's now look at this type of options one after the other. When we are talking of option, call option contracts, the term an option contract specifies the underlying security. So the price at which the security can be transacted and the expiration date. That is the terms an option contract specify. It will tell you what the underlying security is, what is the price to be sold, and what is the expiration date of the contract. And the standard contract cover 100, as I said, which I call a lot. But the shares amounts may be adjusted for stock split, special dividend, or merger. And in call option transaction, a position is open when a contract or contracts are purchased from the seller, and also referred to as writer. What we are saying is that when someone is called a writer of an option, it is referred to as the seller of an option. And in the transaction, the seller is paid a premium. Is paid what? A premium, which we refer to as option cost. That's the premium, to assume the obligation of selling the shares at the strike price. And if the seller holds the shares to be sold, the position is referred to as covered call. Covered call is when you have the share to sell. That is covered call. But if you don't have the share to sell, if required to go and buy it from the market, that is what you call uncovered call or naked call. So that is on that. And when we are talking of put option contract on its own involve rights to sell, and buyers of the put option are speculating on the price decline of the underlying stock or index and own the right to sell at the strike price of the contract. So if the share price drops below the strike price prior to the expiration, the buyer can either assign the share to the seller for purchase at the strike price or sell the contract if the shares are not held in the portfolio. That's on that. And what do we want you to understand in this thing we just discussed? What we are trying to say is that an option, I'm talking of the summary now, an option contract is an agreement between two parties to facilitate a transaction involving an asset at a preset price and date. We also say call option can be purchased as a leveraged bet on the appreciation of an asset, while the put options are purchased to profit from its price decline. And also, buy an option offer the right but not the obligation to purchase or sell the underlying asset, and the stock option involve 100 shares or 100 shares to cover the contract of the underlying stock. Now, before we leave this session, let's try to talk about some of the notations we can have under option. Now, when I'm talking of call option value could be notated as DOS, that is Starry stock price minus strike price. That is a call option value. And when I'm talking of profit, it will become what? Stock price minus exercise price minus option premium, which is called price. And for put option, the value, or what we call the entry value of the put option, is notated as strike price minus stock price, and the profit from the option is equal to strike price minus stock price minus put option. So that's how it is being notated. And we also have some concept that we call option moneyness. Option moneyness. Now we have three. We have in the money option. We have at the money option, and we have out of money option. So when I'm talking of in the money option, that is when the strike. Now let's in the money option, in the money call option. In the money call option, if it is call option for in the money, that is where the stock price is higher than exercise price. That is in the money call option. So at the money call option, at the morning is when the strike price is equal to, stock price is equal to strike price. That is at the morning. This one is in the morning, this at the morning. And out of morning call option is when the stock price is less than strike price. That is for call option. And we are talking of put option. For in the morning option, strike price is higher than stock price at expiration. At the morning, that is where the strike price equal to stock price. And lastly, out of morning is when the strike price less than stock price. So this is the moneyness we refer to in the option. It now depends. And this moneyness has a lot of things to do when we are talking of premium. So the more in the morning a call is, the higher the premium, and so on and so forth like that. In future, we say a lot regarding this when we are talking about option valuation. So thanks for listening.